Hi there! It's Jenny from Quick Anime Recap. And today we're continuing the part 3 of the anime, Fly Me to the Moon. So sit tight and enjoy the video. The anime continues with NASA discovering his apartment has been completely burned down. Luckily, nobody got hurt in the fire, and the plant commemorating their marriage is miraculously intact, and NASA is very relieved. Furthermore, he has already organized all of his bank book and other important things in a safety deposit box, so they have nothing to worry about. But still, NASA and Tsukasa have nowhere to go, and Kaname kindly offers for them to stay at the Arasugawa bathhouse until they find a new place. Kaname thinks that hosting NASA and Tsukasa at the bathhouse is a nice way to thank NASA for everything he has done for the place. Luckily, there is a pretty big building they don't use in the bathhouse, and it already has 2 futons and some furniture. And Kaname confirmed to NASA and Tsukasa that her sister and mother are fine with it. But unbeknownst to NASA, Aya has a crush on him, and she is such an airhead, she still thinks Tsukasa is his sister. And so, during a normal evening, while NASA is thanking her for letting him stay at her place, her mother suddenly pops up and congratulates NASA on his marriage, destroys her daughter's heart in a blink of an eye. To make things worse, after her mom realized Aya didn't know, she coughs up the fact that Aya liked NASA in front of him. However, she decides not to sulk over this situation, and with courage and pride, she congratulates them for their marriage. Later that day, NASA and Tsukasa have a bunch of dirty clothes pile up, and so, they decide to go to the coin laundry owned by the Arasugawa family, and NASA can't help noticing that Tsukasa is wearing a tracksuit, because she doesn't have other clothes to wear, as a lot of them burned in the fire, and the ones which survived are now being washed. And NASA can't stop himself from taking a photo of his cute embarrassed wife. And following that, Kaname quickly suggested NASA to buy some new clothes for Tsukasa, because most of her clothes are burned to a crisp in the fire. And so, they went to shop for new clothes, which Tsukasa offers NASA to choose some new dresses for her, and the pure maiden taste of NASA shows up in the blink of an eye. But, there is something else she needs to buy, some underwear. And once in the shop, submerged by girls' underwear in every direction, NASA's firmness starts to crumble. In the end, Tsukasa just tells NASA to sit and wait for her to finish shopping. While walking back home, NASA asks if Tsukasa can show him how she looks in her cute underwear, which she cutely replies as much as he wants. Now back to his home, NASA recalls that this building used to be where Kaname's dad once lived, and there are all kinds of things they can use now, and even though they have all the basic things to live from now on, their room seems really old-fashioned. And after NASA enjoys the delicious dinner her cute wife cooked for him, Kaname got a muskmelon from a customer, and she brought it to NASA and Tsukasa. Once ascertained that it looks good, she quickly leaves, but not before telling them the sound does not carry all the way to the house. Now alone, and NASA seems eager to try all kinds of embarrassing things he wants. The next morning, NASA receives a call from his former landlord, asking him if he was interested in moving into a new place. But NASA hadn't come to a decision yet, even though he thinks that they can't keep staying in debt to the Arasugawa family for much longer. They are building a new apartment on top of the lot where the last one burned down, and NASA's landlord offered to let them move in keeping the same rent he had before. With such a good offer, they can't deny to visit another apartment that is identical to what their next apartment will be. Once there, they find a huge luxury skyscraper, and the apartment was beautiful, and the view from above even more so. A big bathtub quickly takes their attention, as a lustful NASA thought about them taking a bath together. After the bathroom, comes the bedroom, and it didn't take long for NASA to ask her if she wants to sleep on the same bed once they move into the house, and with a shy and red face she says yes. After they checked out the apartment, the landlord texted him saying it was not their apartment and there was a mistake. But it didn't bother them, as Tsukasa says no matter where they lived, she'd still be happy. The next day, Kaname starts early in the morning. She wakes up every day at 5:30 to get the bathhouse ready, and says balancing it with high school is very tough. But now there is someone new, Tsukasa, and she is more than happy to help her. Even though Kaname refuses her help, Tsukasa insists, as it really pains her to leave her debt to Kaname unpaid. And unlike NASA, she really never had the chance to get along with Kaname's family. And with a sincere smile, Kaname gives up and accepts her offer. And with the help of Tsukasa, the cleaning ends earlier, and Kaname takes advantage of this to thank Tsukasa not only for that, but deeply from her heart for saving Nasa, as she has never had the chance to say it to her. But the same goes for her, as she is glad that Nasa had such good friends that care so much for him. And Kaname starts to understand a bit more why Nasa fell in love with her. The following day, when Chitose comes back to Nasa's apartment, she soon finds out that there is nothing left. However, her maid Aurora asks around the neighborhood and quickly finds out that the building was burned down. And just when Chitose was pointing out the fact that Tsukasa always disappears for no reason, she quietly pops out walking in the street. Even though Chitose is relieved to find out she was unharmed, she still questions where is Tsukasa living. She easily teases Chitose, convincing her that she lived in the park. And once distracted, she disappears and goes home. But this time Chitose reacts in time and follows her to the Arasugawa bathhouse. As soon as she enters, she finds Tsukasa, Nasa and Kaname who were discussing the idea of a takoyaki party. And so, she fools around with the gullible Chitose again, claiming she sleeps every night on the floor with milk bottles as a pillow. Though, the prank doesn't last long as Nasa feels bad for Chitose. In the end, out of desperation, she finds out where she lives. Since Chitose's maids have never been in a bathhouse before, Kaname proposes they take a relaxing bath to cool their heads. And after a nice, calm and refreshing bath, she greets everyone and leaves. But she quickly realizes that they have tricked her once again, and she throws a temper tantrum asking why Tsukasa not stay in her place instead. And with a straight face, Tsukasa states it's because they have a Mega Drive here. And all this talk about game consoles quickly attract Aya to join. Since now they are all there, Kaname suggests everyone to attend the Teiko party as a chance to know each other better. And so, in the evening, the Teiko party finally begins and much to Aya's surprise, Tsukasa made a lot of food for the party. However, she quickly realizes she didn't come for the delicious foods. She came there to see if Tsukasa is a good wife or not, and to prove it, she challenged Tsukasa to play Street Fighter V. Even though the takoyaki party hasn't had a single takoyaki yet, a video game tournament begins. Furthermore, Nasa will also perform any task asked by the winner. With such a reward at stake, Aya had to awaken her gamer mode and destroys Chitose and Tsukasa. As Tsukasa hates to lose, she decides to change to an older console to play with Aya. At first, Tsukasa easily defeats her, but Aya is such a natural gamer, she starts to master the game and in the end, a double KO marks a draw in their competition with mutual appreciation of their skills. And with that done, the takoyaki party finally begins, and the group really had a lot of fun. Now cleaning up after the party, Nasa asks Tsukasa what will she do if she won, and suddenly she kisses him and replies she will do this to him if she won. The next day, Nasa is working relentlessly as always, and so hard that he couldn't even notice being unwell. Luckily, his considerate wife who promptly notices his red face, and once she takes his temperature, she quickly sends Nasa to bed. After getting some well-needed rest, Nasa is now feeling better and wants to change his clothes. But he sweated a lot and it is better if he wipes his body before changing. Tsukasa imposes asks to do it for him, and even though Nasa and his shyness were contrary to it, in the end, they surrendered. After that sweet moment is over, Tsukasa makes him notice her concerns towards his health, and he should take care of himself when working too much. And with that, Nasa confesses the reason he is working so hard lately is to go to the summer festival with her. The following day, Kaname suggests if she is going to the summer festival, she should probably wear a yukata, as is customary for couples. And the summer festival is that evening, and Tsukasa changed into her yukata following Kaname advice. And it didn't take long for Nasa to steal a kiss from her, as she is looking really cute. Now at the festival, it is quite lively, and there are a lot of night stalls open, and from all Tsukasa wants to stop at the takoyaki stall. Even though they recently threw a takoyaki party, she prefers the ones that are not fried at all and the stall sells them. And now Tsukasa is wondering if his husband would want her to feed him. However, his shyness causes him to deny the offer. The two really enjoy the peaceful evening, and all the emotions gathered up during the night, with the fireworks blooming in the sky, making Nasa think deeply about how much he loves his current life and wife. Thanks for watching the video. Still want to watch more anime recap? Click the video on the screen to watch more. And don't forget to subscribe to catch the latest upload.